Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. We're going to talk about STEPN today. And the thing is, yes, they are going to have a 3 hour maintenance. I have this on the app, by the way. They're going to have a 3 hour maintenance at 8 a.m. UTC plus 0 June 3rd, 2022, which is tomorrow, roughly at about 3 a.m. Central Standard Time for a major update. You should back up your seed phrases, blah, blah, blah. And also, I think they will introduce renting shoes. So that could be some reason for why the shoes have made a comeback in price. When I checked last night, the shoes were at 2.3 sold for the cheapest one. Now it's 5.26 Solana for the cheapest one. And the thing about Solana is that, yes, it was down yesterday. That might actually have contributed to the price fall. But Solana really hasn't dropped all that much. It's still like $40 something. So STEPN is making a comeback. But I think long term, it's still in a bit of trouble because STEPN does rely on selling expensive shoes to actually maintain its ecosystem. Otherwise, the project really doesn't have any real form of income. And selling these shoes for hundreds and hundreds of dollars is really how the project stays funded. Now, they are trying to move away from that, where they're going to open up their, I guess, ecosystem to developers to make different types of like metaverses or games on their platform. And I think that's part of the release is going to be on that as well. But I think the main attraction is actually earn while moving, because that's kind of like their primary attraction. And that's what they actually wrote themselves on. However, that might be in trouble despite the renting or not, because everything depends on the GMT coin. The higher the GMT coin is, the more ROI you can actually get. And to maintain a consistent ROI on expensive shoes, GMT has to maintain a good price. If you look at GMT over since the last month, it's dropped from roughly $4, over $4 to about $1. So that's a 75% cut. That means your earnings also dropped about 75%, which means the shoe price should not be quite as high. You know, if a shoe was, let's say, 12 like Solana or something like that, and essentially by April of 2022, which is last month, prices were already pretty low for crypto because the Russian invasion, everything had already happened. So the price for Solana wasn't all that high to begin with. To buy a shoe for several hundred to $1,000 in SOL, and then getting $4 reward per GMT, that was a really good ROI. But now getting 106, even with the Solana price drop, you're getting less than half value in terms of ROI. So you're gonna have to hold on to the shoe for twice as long before selling it to get your full price out of it. And the price of the shoes have become much more volatile in the recent days because early on it was just going up, up, and up. But now it's coming down, probably because the price of STEPN has dropped so much. And the trend for STEPN does not seem to be all that great. Yes, it does seem to have kind of like evened out a bit, but there isn't really any real insurance against further drop. Like I said, there is a new version coming tomorrow, and that could actually buff it up. The ability to rent shoes and get supplemental income for other people moving could actually carry it up. But if you have a couple of minutes a day to do STEPN and use it yourself, I'm not really sure why you would rent it unless renting gives you more income. That does give you more streams though, and people might actually get excited about that. Also, the other developers moving onto the STEPN network could actually help it as well. But remember, those other games don't actually have to use GMT or GST. Yes, they will be built on Solana, so it'll help Solana, but it may not actually help STEPN itself. So right now, I would be pretty careful about STEPN, mainly because the shoe prices are so volatile. They've gone down so much in the last few days, but that's because that might be because of Solana having trouble itself, especially Solana stopping yesterday. And it seems like as Solana's come back up, the price of the shoes have come back up, but they're still nowhere near the $12, $13 mark where they were before a lot of the fiasco started. And you can actually see why the price of the shoe has actually gone down in terms of Solana, because the price of GMT has fallen a lot more than the price of Solana. So the ratio of shoe to reward has definitely fallen. So I'm not really sure if it's going to get back to $12 or $13. It might after the new update, but be a little bit weary of STEPN right now. Now the thing is, like, the shoe price right now might actually, I don't think like buying STPN is a great idea right now, but the shoe price right now might still be kind of attractive because after the next release, people might get excited again, and the shoe prices might actually go up to about $10 again, and you might be able to sell and make a profit. Obviously, there's no guarantee. I'm just like extrapolating because I know they were at 12 or 13 Solana, and they could go up to about 10, 11, 12, 13 Solana to that rate after the new release, which comes 5 a.m. GMT Friday. However, it is several $100s worth of investment per shoe. So if you want to buy a shoe and see if you can flip it for a couple $100, I think that wouldn't be too bad of an idea as long as you know the risk. The price of the shoe itself, is much lower than it was a couple of weeks ago. And I do think there is some potential for pumping the shoe right after the launch. It could be one of those buy the rumors, sell the news things. So you gotta watch out for that. And if you see the price of STEPN downtrending, you do probably want to offload some of the shoes if you have a lot of them, because the price of the shoe will eventually follow the price of STPN. So right now, I do think like the popularity of STPN has locally crested maybe about 2 weeks ago, and it is probably going to face some headwinds because of the price of the shoe is so unstable, and because of the price of the reward token, which you actually get from the shoe, is dropping, which actually makes the ROI go down. So I do actually believe that Solana, honestly, basically coming back up today will actually help the price of the shoe, but you can see in terms of STEPN, the precipitous drop of GMT is not like a 1 or 2 day thing. It's been going on since last month, and I think the shoe and the ecosystem are finally feeling a bit of an effect. Unless there's like another killer ecosystem app that's actually coming up that somehow uses GMT GST, it's hard for me to see a revival unless there's a huge market rebound, which I kind of doubt it. So that's my analysis of STEPN. No, I don't own any STEPN and I don't own any shoes. I just have the app because someone invited me. And yeah, that's my report for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.